In a more in-depth look at the hockey team, Garnet Insider invited Coach Jason Friesan into the studio for this episode's 2-minute chat. So Coach, now that we're deep into the season, how has your team's performance matched your expectations for the season?
I think that they've matched my expectations for the season. I think that we're slowly surpassing, I think, some of them. I think that last night was a big game for us, and we met the challenge there. And so we're assured of at least co-champions, if not outright champions in our league, and that's kind of the first step and the first goal in the process. So we're meeting our expectations as we move along.
To what extent do you think home field advantage and having the crowd behind you, how does that affect your performance?
I think it has a great deal to do with our success. The fans are big. I know for the kids that play, it means a lot having their friends out there watching and cheering them on. So I think that they, rise to the occasion a little bit better, and it helps motivate them. And through all of that, they have a lot of success. I think it helps a lot.
And how does this team you've coached compare to past teams?
It compares very well. In fact, this is probably, out of the four teams that I've had, this is probably the one that I like the most. It's a different type of team. It's not as physical, doesn't have the size that I've had in the past, but it does really well. And I'm really proud of the work the guys put in, a little bit more hockey talent, so to speak, rather than raw physical talent on this team, and they do very well.
And has your strategy changed over the course of the season from the beginning to where it is now?
I don't think the strategy's changed too much, Travis. I think that you tweak it here and there to get it going a little bit better in certain directions, especially after a loss or when you're maybe not playing as well. But usually the strategy is the same for this hockey team.
And what do you think will be the most important factor that determines how successful you are in the postseason?
Well, I think that there's probably a couple key factors. Health being number one, making sure that we have everybody, because we need everybody. That's been part of our strategy all year, is to have the full lineup and be able to run 3 full lines worth of ice hockey players. And I think that staying out of the penalty box is going to be huge for us too, because that adds to using our depth as well. So I think those 2 things will be big factors for us. But I think that the sky's the limit for this team, and I think we're going to go all the way this year.
Thanks a lot and good luck.
Thank you very much, Travis.
And now for the wrap-up of the ice hockey team. In the past few weeks, the games at Playland Ice Casino have been enthralling. Almost every game has come right down to the wire.
Absolutely, Travis. And Rise fared very well in these overtime thrillers. Here's ice hockey correspondent Matt Esser with the story.
While Rye hockey fans love to see a game go into double overtime or a shootout, not all close games need to have a victor. Against Yorktown Heights on January 24th, the varsity ice hockey team fought evenly throughout the game with the Cornhuskers, eventually finishing off the game with a scoreless 5-minute overtime period. Early on in the first period, it was Rye who squandered 2 power play opportunities, and Yorktown, who jumped on top 1-0. This hole forced Rye, who had previously won 2 straight games by 3 goals each, step it up against the League One Cornhuskers, and they did. Junior Marshall Rogers tied the game in the second period on a shot that just found its way off the goalpost. Going into the third period, the intensity started building as Rye rallied behind the roaring crowd. Midway before the end of regulation, Kyle Iobi scored off a shot by junior Kevin Gordon. Rye's 2-1 lead was not saved for long, as Shane Ruiz tied the game once again on a breakaway goal 5 minutes later. Garnet's goalie Matt Donahue made 29 impressive saves in the game, but couldn't get to this one. In the overtime period, Rye continued to keep the puck on the Cornhuskers side of the ice. 5 minutes of overtime, however, was not enough, and the clock wound down on both teams. As of press time, Rye was 5-1 in their conference and 8-5-3 overall. Another factor that the record mirrors is their home versus away record. 5-2 at home and 3-1 away. There is no doubt that Rye's home field advantage and plethora of fans have been advantageous to the team. As the team approaches the playoffs though, all these factors will come into play and determine how far the Garnet skip this season.
You can read more on Garnet Sports by checking out our articles in the Rise Soundshare Review and going on our website at www.youtube.com/GarnetInsider.
Touche. That concludes the first part of our 8th edition. From the Garnet Insider crew and Rye TV, that's a wrap.
Garnet Insider is sponsored by the new Jerry's Post Road Market and Liquor Store located on the Post Road in Rye. Jerry's, fueling Garnet victories for generations.